All right, good evening. It is Monday, January 22nd. This is the RBI, aka the Rink Building Initiative. And we have a handful of updates, some good news, some good stuff, some good progress to go over rink building related, and then maybe some peripheral stuff with what we got going on with some of our leagues kicking off very shortly here. First and foremost, I want to make the announcement up top of our openings on our board. So we currently have 3 board openings. The first of which is the Chief Administration Officer. The second is the Chief Executive Officer, and the third is the Director of Youth Hockey. And we're currently interviewing for all 3 of those positions. As far as the CAO is concerned, Bobby, what would you say about that position that would be intriguing for somebody who might be interested in applying for it?
Yeah, so really it's going to be the person that's just kind of keeping us all organized with day-to-day stuff. If we're talking like league days and things like that, it's making sure that we've got people on site, making sure officiating, helping make sure that things are just being set up appropriately in the mornings and really just if you're somebody that's highly organized and likes building processy, then yeah, it's right up your alley.
Yeah, there are people out there, and I think when I think back to when I first applied for my first position for CSHL, I was like, I'll give it a whirl. I like hockey and I wanted to see this grow. It's it's hard to measure the value of somebody who is ready to take that step with us. So if you're thinking about it, I know we have a pretty close-knit bond with our board, and we meet once a month, if not more, on text threads and email messages. And not to sound like it's overwhelming, because it's a decent amount of work, but also like it's very rewarding what we're building here, and we're going to share some of those updates tonight. So we got some pretty cool things on, and if you're thinking of applying, just do it. Like, just interview for it. Even if you get the position, you can make the decision if it's right for you. But yeah, we encourage all to apply, interview for it.
For sure.
So yeah, 3 openings currently, and I'd like to kick off talking about some of our more rink related updates. So we've had a meeting with both Mecklenburg and Matthews and the YMCA since last rink building initiative update, and we have updates for all 3 that are somewhat good news. So I want to give a high level for Mecklenburg, Bobby, and then maybe you can fill in any details of what you feel is important to share. But met with Katie and Greg, who are our 2 contacts over there. Katie's pretty high up. I think she's the head parks planner, and then Greg is a director or in operations. He's very high up there. So we've had a couple meetings with them after the second one this past week. He expressed some interest in checking out our operation, coming out to Huntersville and meeting with some of us. We're just swinging by and seeing the operation. And then we have an opportunity, I think, where they're trying to kick us off and start us off small on like some underutilized parks. That's their biggest goal. This is like what I expected, right? With marrying our goal, but like they're gonna have goals too. So their goal is to get some more foot traffic to some of these more underutilized parks. And they gave us a couple of property addresses. I think I shared that last time we visited them. And there's a potential partnership with running a couple events out there. And we have a meeting. We'll tease this out with NHL Street tomorrow. And we're somewhat interested to see how that goes, because we're maybe a bit more mature of a program, I think, than they're used to. I think they start from scratch. And again, that's an assumption as well. I don't even know if that's true, but I think that's true. But we got some plans with how we can marry all 3 of these organizations and really do something special here. So anything else you wanted to share about the Mecklenburg opportunity, Bobby?
No, I think it's all good stuff. I think that, folks that are part of the league right now probably remember us asking like, hey, how far would you drive if it meant a facility that could be a little bit more appropriate for what we're doing? And I think that's where a lot of this comes into play now, is working with that group to really understand where our focus is geographically and seeing if it lines up with what they actually have available.
Yeah, and it seems obvious to me because I'm in it, but we should share this as well. The whole purpose is that we want to have them help us build rinks, right? They have access to the land. The land and the funding are the 2 biggest obstacles for us. They've hinted that if we have a little funding, it goes a little bit longer, or it goes a little bit farther, we get bumped up the priority list. So anybody out there who's watching and maybe knows some I don't know, some potential donors or organizations that are, they have to find places to support or organizations or nonprofits to support. So probably not too off in the distant future, we're going to be asking for some donations to make this a reality. I think this can happen sooner than later. But first thing is first is to connect these organizations, have a good meeting with NHL Street, and just get really clear on what the wins are for everybody. And then as early as this summer, I think we'll probably host an event or two to see how it goes, and then who knows after that. So I'm excited about that. Very promising. Kind of goes hand in hand with we've been meeting with Corey King from the Matthews Parks and Rec department. He's the director over there. Matthews, of all the Parks and Rec departments in and around Charlotte, have seemed to have the most interest in connecting with us and supporting us. And we got a couple key players that are singing our praises in the community. So for anybody who knows the terminology, they just approved a master plan, which is basically a 10-year plan for their Parks and Rec department. Apparently they were due for this. It's something Corey's been pushing for. And the meeting that we had the other day happened to be on the day that they signed it. So it was like a big milestone for them. So it's kind of cool to see him in that good mood. But he wants to help us and support us. I think we're learning that he's not the only decision maker. So they're going to put committees together. And what I can tell you is that our name is in the running for consideration for accommodating some of our needs. I think the real grunt work will be over these next 4 or 6 months as they put these committees together to really understand what our needs are, what the benefits are of what we're offering, building out a youth program. And, if we're the only show in town there's only hockey rinks in Matthews, people moving from the North, the Midwest, like all these other places, that could be a difference maker for hockey families or people that like hockey. So I thought the interesting part of that meeting was, he mentioned Mecklenburg County, how closely they work hand in hand. So he said at a certain point, they'll probably bring them in the loop with what they're doing and how they're doing it and what their plans are. And so I brought him up to speed on the progress that we've been making. So it's kind of like all these worlds are coming together, which is a good feeling, but still many boxes to check and I's to dot and T's to cross. But another good meeting with Corey, and he said he'll keep us in the loop. My next meeting with him is end of February. Maybe it was into March because I don't think there's an update available before then. So I think it's March. We'll have some more information there. So that's exciting, rink building wise. And then maybe one more with the YMCA. So officially unofficial, we're pretty sure that there's budget money approved in 2024 to retrofit the Morrison YMCA outdoor rink with tile, which is a huge freaking deal. Obvious implications for our deck program, but I'm thinking of the roller guys. I mean, they've been dealing with those cracks out there in that cement for so long, even when I started playing pickup there in the mid 20-teens. So timetable, no idea. Just summer was kind of floated out there, so I know people are interested in that. It doesn't sound like it's going to happen before Winter League or even during Winter League, but who knows? I just would say don't get your hopes up, and I want to set the bar low as far as expectations are concerned, but just know that it's moving in the right direction. We got some good news, and behind the scenes we are pushing. So we promise you we're asking about it, and we're trying to bump up the date. So we'll keep everybody informed over the next couple of weeks with our progress there. Beyond that, a couple other items at the YMCA that we brought up. We've been kind of pitching the idea of a scoreboard facelift, maybe getting a CSHL logo on it. I think it's the original, so it's like super outdated. It's burned from the sun, the elements out there. We talked about crack fixes in the cracks and getting a legitimate vendor to take a look at that. And before the tile goes on, can we make some adjustments so that the roller guys can actually play some decent hockey out there? And then some sort of rink appraisal of, just like an assessment with there's screws missing and the doors are open in the wrong way and the big Zamboni entrance, as I'll call it, like the plate's all messed up. So just getting somebody out there to take a look at it and make sure that there's no safety hazards. That's in the works too. And then besides that, this news was broken to us as well. The executive director is stepping down, which I think that person's been there for many years. So that was somewhat of a surprise, and there's going to be some changes coming. So we had some plans to get a little bit more involved with their operation and organization, get to know their board members, but that's going to be on pause for another month or two. But hopefully that's, hopefully that means good things, but we'll see in these next couple months what that looks like here. Where do we go next? How about a league that just finished. Shout out to, I don't even know what this team name is, but the roller mini season has completed, and we'll just throw a quick picture up of the champions here. 3-on-3 mini season that ran December and January, just to kind of hold people over between fall league and winter league. And look at this motley crew here. With some hardware around their necks. So congratulations to those guys. This picture is taken at Waymer Park, and like I said, half the games were down in Valentine, the other half the games were up here. So pretty cool. Shout out to Haley and Brandon and Phil and all the people who made it possible to operate some successful seasons, continuing hockey, weaving in and around the holidays. So I'm sure a lot of work went into that. So shout out to those guys and congratulations. Why don't we go? I'm talking too much, so let's get Bobby involved. Do we have an adult winter league update, Bobby? Tell us where we are with that.
Yeah, so everything at this point, we did the drafts. I guess we did the draft after our last meeting. I guess it would have been after the last one.
Oh yeah.
So now we wrapped up our drafts on the 11th. So 2 weeks back. Everything went pretty well. Some bumps and bruises in the latter half of it, but we got everything wrapped up and we're in a good spot. So for those of you who don't know, we ended up having to add another captain, or another team, I guess is the right way to put it, for B division, meaning that we end up having 10 teams this year. Record number of registrants. I think we end up with a total number of those playing of B12, actually 13 times 5, so 65 people in B division plus what would it be, 46 in A. So you're looking almost 110 people playing this year.
Damn.
Yeah, so a big deal. And I think that we'll kind of see one thing that everybody will notice coming into this is that obviously means our games have to stretch later into the afternoon. So I think this season we're starting games at 8:30 a.m. and we're not finishing until 2:30 p.m., which is definitely a ways out there in comparison to where we were last year. It's good that it's winter league because that means there isn't any football immediately following our games. But obviously something to think about as we get into the fall league for next year, for this coming year, because it is going to stretch us out. And I would be shocked if we didn't increase attendance for fall league over this winter league. Second big note would be, I sent out an email yesterday. Anybody who is registered for Winter League, you should have received the name of your team as well as the roster for your team. Check in on Sports Engine, make sure that you see your team in there. If you do not, let me know. And that's a good reminder because Josh Cummings did not. And now I can actually go in to see what happened. But yeah, if you haven't, please let me know. And that way I can go in and see what adjustments need to be made.
Boom. I checked mine earlier today and everything looks good. 100 plus people. It's pretty amazing. I think I mentioned last time, just testament to the product that we're putting out there. Some a lot of newcomers too, right? How many new people would you estimate are registered for A and B League?
I would say there's at least 12. I bet you 10% are brand new to CSHL or maybe have played in like one event. So this would be their first league is probably 10% of people, if not a little bit more.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's still a couple people on the waiting list too. So it's definitely filled up quick.
Yeah. And yeah, some different challenges that will be posed going into fall league with just how many hours can we ask referees to be out there for? So it might need like two sets of things, two sets of scorekeepers, two sets of referees, two sets of admin, different crews breaking down and putting up the nets and all that kind of stuff. So many hands make light work. So we'll take the help, but good problems to have and good growing pains here. It's pretty awesome. And that season starts when, Bobby?
That would be about 3 weeks and 6 days from today. So, or sorry, 2 weeks and 6 days from today. It will be 3 weeks and 6 days.
3 weeks.
The 18th of February. Yep.
Got it. Cool. And maybe we'll turn to the leagues that are starting before then. We are just 6 days away from Huntersville Youth Deck Hockey League opening up Saturday,
Yeah.
January 27th. And also same day will be roller hockey adult down in Ballantyne. And I should be at both if all things go well. But we're super pumped about that. I've been sending out a bunch of videos to the parents who've registered for Huntersville ball hockey. We're kind of putting forth a different model here. We got coaches and head coaches and assistant coaches and a lot of admin help for the season. And we got some sweet jerseys too. Came up with some more team names and 3 different divisions, aka age groups, and 2 teams per. And we're probably right on that brink of either making a third team in one of the divisions or a completely new age group division. So same thing. If we grow like that in the fall, there'll be some different things that we'll have to do. We'll have to accommodate in fall league here, but all good stuff. And then roller, expanding a team. I think I could have this wrong, but I think the 5 teams last season and moving to 6 teams this season. Pretty sure. And just that time of the year, it's just like hockey's in the air, right? It's been freezing outside, even here in Charlotte. I say that though, it's gonna be 70 degrees this week. I saw that in the forecast.
70 and rain.
Yeah, a little bit of rain, so hopefully can dodge the raindrops there. But
Yeah.
so yeah, between adult ball hockey kicking off in almost a month, and then youth ball hockey and adult roller hockey. Oh, and then Valentine Youth, we have we're not going to run a season down there, but we have a whole bunch of clinics and even some roller events set up. And we have a roller event set up in Huntersville for the first time too. Some clinics there. So, man, lots happening. Speaking of which, a little pivot here. We got a couple tournaments coming up. First of all, our females in our league are playing in a tournament in Nashville. I want to make sure I get this right. Is it Ball on Broadway? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Ball on Broadway, run by Ashley Muzan. I almost said like one of our own, but she's close enough to be considered in Charlotte here. But she's helping to run that event or is running that event. And the Charlotte ladies are putting a team in, and we'll do like a cool logo reveal or show their jerseys or even the roster in the next couple weeks here. But that is in the end of February, I believe. So super proud of that, and a cool milestone in our program as well to continue growing out the ladies program there.
For sure.
And even sooner than that, we are just under 2 weeks away from the Charlotte's first ever entry into a cool hockey event up in Pottstown, Pennsylvania during the bye-week bash is what it's called on February 3rd and 4th. We'll do a little logo reveal. Shout out to Benny Thompson putting these together. There's no one named Jason on our team, so that's just a sample there. But look how cool that little logo is. To grow out those mutton chops for the tournament, and maybe even get a Jofa helmet with chops on it. But super cool. I think we'll stand out with these jerseys, and we'll be representing Carolina and Charlotte ball hockey. Hopefully moving forward, and we'll attend a bunch of these tournaments this year. We got our eyes on the next one is the week after Easter, which is April 6th and 7th, and that is the North American Ball Hockey Championships, and that is a big one. Apparently, a lot of people get excited about that one. So mark your calendars. We'll put in another team, maybe 2, who knows? But super pumped about that. And last but not least, maybe just an NBHL update. 3 teams out of Charlotte in the Carolina division. We confirmed and locked in our dates for 2 different weekends at the YMCA in Ballantyne here. So a milestone for us as well that we got approved from NBHL to run Carolina division games here. It's just going to be the Charlotte-based teams. And who knows what that leads to in following years here. But opening day is May 5th. So we got a ways to go. It's hard to believe that's 4 months away.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, but that'll be here before we know it. We definitely know that. But we'll be wrapping up Winter League by then, and there'll be a lot of hype. I'm looking. I mean, I can't wait for that day. It's gonna be so exciting with like all these new jerseys and new teams and coaching staffs, and it's gonna be quite an event. So mark your calendars for that one. Keep it open. Hopefully, we'll see you out there on May 5th, and then the second weekend is June 9th, about a month later. Besides
Yeah, we
that,
got one. So it's May 5th, and then we play in Raleigh at least one time. And then
yes.
back here.
Yeah, maybe in one of these future meetings, Bobby will throw up like a full schedule
Yeah.
once we have a good graphic for it, but we're still a ways away from that. I do have that pretty readily available. Let me pull that up real quick. May 19th, it looks like we'll be in Apex.
Yep.
Then June 30th, July 14th, and July 28th for the playoffs. I was going to shout out PMart for hooking us up with a bay or two at Top Golf. So we had probably our last board meeting, at least definitely in person with all 10 of us. I was kind of remarking when we were there, but I can't really remember. Like even we did a couple in-person board meetings at the Perk with Sean Colas's business, but even then, like one or two people didn't show up. So to have all 10 people out there was super cool. PMart has some sort of VIP pass or something. But don't worry, Darren Monaco, your funds did not pay for it. We still paid for it ourselves. But we had a good time. It was good to, we talked a little bit of business, but mostly just to build the connection and just have some fun. So that was fun. That was a good time.
Sure.
Oh, Carolina Beer Temple outing this week, Thursday, the 25th. Is that right?
Thursday 20. Yep.
Thursday the 25th, come out to Carolina Beer Temple in Matthews. Those guys have been huge supporters of us. We gave away a gift card at the AWC for their location. I'm trying to remember who got that now. Is that Diaz?
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Diaz. Somebody won two prizes, I think. It might have been Diaz. Hopefully we'll see him there. But we're giving away, not giving away, but you can come pick up your roller hockey jerseys that night. So Haley will definitely be there. I think the Wards will be there. I will be there. I think Phil was gonna be there, but maybe can't now. But anybody who wants to come out and just watch some hockey, we sponsored the event. We buy some pizzas, come get some free pizza, and hang out and watch some hockey for a couple hours. That'd be fun.
Yep.
Other than that, Bobby, what am I missing?
I don't think anything, man. I think that pretty much covers us.
I think we crushed it. Just an exciting time. But when is it not an exciting time to be CSHL? Stay warm. You only got to survive a couple more days, and then you can turn the AC back on, Bobby.
Oh yeah, cannot wait for it. Need to.
Will we see you at youth opening day across the street there?
I think barring I hope you see anybody there.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
see what the weather looks like and go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get over for some of it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining tonight. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, man. See ya.
All right.